Good morning, friends. Hello, friends. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. But trying to get things right. All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? Pray that you're well. Things are coming together for your Christmas celebration. Maybe you are already in the traveling, or maybe you're already with some folks with whom you love and going to celebrate that, or maybe you are looking forward to that time. Wherever you find yourself in this day, I hope that you know that there is goodness in it for you as we journey together in our little 11:11 joy. Good. Ooh, gotta wet my whistle. This weather has me all dried out. Good morning to you. Hello, friends. Good morning. How are you, friends? Hope you're doing great. Get going here in 1 second. Hello, hello. Hey, Jen, good morning to you. Hope all is well with the Shaw family. Good to see you this morning. All right, let's get going this morning. It is the 23rd day of December. It is coming. We can hear Santa on the roof. It is on its way. Christmas is coming, friends. Welcome on this Tuesday at 11:11. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're a part of this journey. Welcome. Jen, glad you're here. Hey, Vicky, good to see you. Jane, glad you're along. Oh, quarantine's little man has the flu. Oh, no. That's it. It's got some fangs this year, too. We'll keep him in our prayers. We'll keep all of our beloveds in our prayers these days. Know that you have been prayed for today, because it is always my discipline to pray for those anybody who hears this podcast or in our little live stream here today when we get done, so that know that prayers have been raised for you today. So I got greeted this morning by a friend of mine who texted me, "Happy Christmas Eve, Eve," and which is just it's fantastically annoying. Like, yeah, we know it's Christmas Eve, we know it's Christmas Eve Eve, we know what it means. It's funny, but it prompted me to look up where it actually comes from. This maybe you've heard it. Like, there's like a million memes out there that are blasted across the TikTok about this very subject, but it actually comes from the show Friends, way back in the 90s, in the before time, in the before phone time. That's what the before time really is at this point. And it's this time before when they are there. If you know the show Friends, there's all the their usual characters, Joey and Ross and Chandler and Monica and Rachel, are all at this coffee shop that they used to hang out with, the Central Perk. And Phoebe comes in, Lisa Kudrow's the actress, comes in and wishes them all, "Hey, happy Christmas Eve Eve." And it's from that line that actually this whole little work of memes and cards that you can send, like all this whole thing was actually spawned from that one line from a show nearly 30 years ago. It was December 14th, 1995, that Lisa Kudrow uttered those words as the character Phoebe at the Central Park with all of her friends. "Hey, happy Christmas Eve Eve." And it began to catch on from there on. From there on, I don't think it was ever repeated again in the show, but it has certainly been repeated again and again and again, and it was even repeated to me this morning. Now, while Happy Christmas Eve Eve is not necessarily a new concept, I'm sure the writers of Friends were not the first ones that to come up with that. Hey, good morning, Robin. Hey, good morning, Deb. Good morning, everybody. Oh, could not have been that long ago. Oh, it was that long ago. That the fact that it was that long ago, the fact that even brings us to to what I want to point us to today, which is this passage from First John. So First John are these letters from, guess who? John. No trick questions here. From John, who is basically encouraging and boiling down the Gospel of John. So you have the Gospel of John, which is this big, long, rambling things, lots of stuff about the Father and the Son and the Son and the Father, and them being one, but being sent in the way to the Father, and lots of that kind of stuff. And then the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word was God, and then God in the flesh, and like there's lots of that stuff. But you get to the letters of John, which are these small little concise things, which are just the kind of the bottom line up front of the entire Gospel of John, of what John is driving at in his depth of theology, where he says that Christ and the Father are one, that God has come to be as we are in this world, and come to be with us, Emmanuel. And so I love these letters because they're in the way they simply boil down to what John is trying to say. And I'm not a smart man. I can use that every once in a while. So he says this. He says, "Dear friends, we are already God's children." Stay with me here. We are already God's children, but He has not yet shown us what we will be like when Christ appears. We do know that we will be like Him, for we will see Him as He really is. And that this notion of Christmas Eve, that it's not really even Christmas Eve yet, that it is not even, it's almost, it's already, and yet it is already in the midst of the birth of the celebration of Jesus the Christ. It is already the birth of the one who came for us to rescue us, to bring us into wholeness and goodness, and to bring us out of despair and out of brokenness and out of pain and out of grief and out of worry, and that we can place all of that upon Him, who will gladly carry it and gladly reconcile it and make it whole, so that we might be like Him. And that all of that is real and present, and in the almost, and in some ways, because we are at Christmas Eve after all, the already, that we know Christmas will come. We know that the Christ child will be born. We know that He will walk out the victory over the hells, and will come into us and into our hearts to rescue us from the worst parts of ourselves, from the worst parts of the world, from the worst parts of others, pull us from our baseness into glory. We know that, and it is in already. It is in already. And yet, it's also Christmas Eve. It's also kind of a not yet. And so we stand in this place of already but not yet, almost but not yet. And that really is our place of where we're invited to stand. That we don't know all the answers. It hasn't been shown to us what it's all going to look like. We don't know what it's going to be as Christ appears. We don't know what it's going to be when Christ appears in us. When Jesus is born in our hearts, we don't fully know what the implications of all that is going to be. Even though we may have been walking with Him for decades in our lives, that tomorrow their new rooms of the mansion may be unveiled. And yet, the promise, though, is we will see Him as He really is. We will see Him as the Logos, the Word, the really real. We will see ourselves in that same way. That we have a part to play in this kingdom, in this already but not yet. We have a part to wish our friends happy Christmas Eve in the most annoying way that we can, just so that we can let them know that we love them and that we care about them. And at the same time, we have this way of resting upon the confidence, resting upon the reality of what is and what is to come. And I think it lets us stand in this place of what John is really pointing at, which is the opposite of what the world is pointing us at. Because what the world is pointing at us is paranoia. I've talked about this before, but I feel like on Christmas Eve it's worth coming back to. That what the world points us to is paranoia, meaning that there's things out there that are trying to get you. There's a lion that's trying to eat you. There's a car that's trying to run over you. There's a call that's trying to scam you. There's a suitor that is trying to steal your affections. There is a businessman that's trying to cheat you. There is something out there that is trying to get you. And there is a creepy crawly. There is a great Cthulhu that waits in the darkness and is going to arise and get us. That the world tells us to be paranoid. But what the gospel is telling us, and particularly what this first letter of First John is telling us, what John addresses us when he says to us, dear friends, we are already children of God, meaning we already have God's inheritance. It is already ours, and yet we haven't been shown necessarily what that looks like. And what John is suggesting is that we are actually in a state of pronoia. Wait, what? We know paranoia because everybody tells us to be paranoid. Everybody tells us to be, there's plenty of messages out there that says be afraid of the things that are to come down the road. But we are a people of pronoia, meaning that yes, there is something out there that is working for you. There is a great force in this world. There is Jesus the Christ, who is Master and King of all, who has conquered death itself, and who is conspiring for you. Not to take something away from you, not to rob you of your health or your wealth or your being or your autonomy, but to give you all good gifts. That the world, that everything in it is actually conspiring for your happiness, for your joy, for your goodness, for your salvation, for raising you up into this child of God in which you are already, but not yet. Friends, my hope for you this Christmas, my hope for you on this Christmas Eve, is that you will be pronoid, that you will look at the world as it is, that you will look at the encounters that you are having in these days, and even the ones that are gnarly, even the ones that have fangs and claws to them, even the ones that are unsettled or unknown, even the ones that are scary and terrifying, that even those have within them the seeds of you as God's child, and have within them the seeds of Christ himself, who is conspiring for you to bring you all good gifts. And that we can look at the world, we can celebrate the world, we can celebrate a mundane day, the 23rd of December, and say to ourselves, Happy Christmas Eve, and knowing that we stand on the almost, but not yet, the already, as children of God, with a God working for us to bring us all good gifts this Christmas. Peace and grace to you all, my friends, and we'll pick it up tomorrow with another 11:11. Hey, friends. Hey, Marianne. Hey, Deb. Glad you all made it. Peace and grace, y'all.